Welcome again. This is part 5 of Selenium WebDriver with C Sharp by One Test Solution. And in this session, we'll talk about how to run Selenium script through a proxy server using WebDriver in C Sharp. Okay, so let me flip to Visual Studio. And what I will do is I will go ahead and create a new test, mm, unit test, and I will rename this test to proxy class or it's a proxy test. Proxy test. Okay, rename it. I will go ahead and call this as set proxy server. Okay, now first let's see how to we can do that manually. For example, if I have to launch this one test solution through through a proxy server, what are the options we have manually? Okay, what we need to do is we will go here on the menu, and in menu we'll go to options. In options, we'll go to advanced. In advanced, we will go to network, and in the connection we can go and set the proxy. Okay, now there are multiple proxy settings that we can set up http proxy, then ssl proxy, ftp sockets, and also we can use this automatic proxy configuration url. Okay, I will show you this option, but you can also use any of these if required in your project. Okay, now if I have to do it manually, what I will do is I will go and set it up. But the problem that will happen is we always know that Selenium always creates a new browser instance, but this problem can be solved by creating a Firefox profile. Okay, but that is an alternative or a workaround. Okay, but in Selenium we can also set up this proxy directly. Okay, let's see how to do this. So what I will do is I will go ahead and create an object of proxy class. Proxy. Now this proxy is we need to first actually include these namespace using incubate dot selenium dot firefox. Now create an object of proxy class. Let's say I will call this as prox is equals new proxy. Okay, now what this will do is it will give a capability to configure the url. Okay, so now if you do this prox dot, you will see a method here called a property called as proxy auto config url. Okay, it actually gets out sets the url for proxy or automatic configuration. So I will go ahead and set up this proxy. Now which proxy needs to be used, that you know better, but what I will do is I will go ahead and google some of the any proxy in fact. Okay, so one proxy I remember is us internet dot gq, sorry, dot gq. But there are hundreds of proxy that if you want to try you can try with any. Okay, now after this what we need to do is, now url has been set, now we have to use the desired capability class. Okay, now desired capability class is under remote. We have to use the same we have to include that namespace selenium dot remote. Okay, desired capabilities, I will create an object of desired capability. Desired capability, sorry, is equals to new desired capability. This we already know. In case you have not watched the previous session, I would recommend you to go and watch that before watching this one. Okay, now using set capability method, I can go ahead and set the proxy capability. Okay, so what I will do is I will write capability type dot proxy. And what is from where we will get the proxy? We'll get the proxy from here, prox. Okay. Now again I will go ahead and create the object of the Firefox driver. So drive iWeb driver is equals to new Firefox driver, and we have to pass the capability object here. So capability object is this cap, and if you want to launch browser, sorry, navigate to URL, so you can write driver dot navigate dot go to URL, and you can pass on the URL, right? HTTP colon, let's say, google.com. Now this google.com is going to be opened using this proxy. Okay, there are multiple methods actually in this proxy class which you can use to set up other proxies that we were talking. So always remember to go to the documentation if you want to find out more about the methods or the properties which are available on that class. Okay, so I will go to this C# documentation, and here you can search for proxy class. Okay, now here is the proxy class. In this proxy class you will find the methods and properties. So we have used one property, actually this one, proxy auto config URL. There are FTP proxy property, HTTP is auto detect. There are multiple others that we can use as per a business need. This SSL proxy. Okay, so whatever is required you can use as per your need. So if you look at this here, HTTP, SSL and all that, right? For all these there are properties available that we can make use of. Okay, now if I will go and run this automated test, it will go and actually set up the proxy here. So let's quickly run this test. I will right click and run this test. Okay, it's firing google.com. Now let's go and check this out. So I will go to menu, then options, advanced, network and settings. Now you see here, now this proxy has been set up. I did not set it manually. It's been set by the Selenium script. Okay, so that's how we can set up the proxy. Once again, we have used the class of object of this proxy class. It has a property called as proxy auto config URL, which actually sets up proxy auto URL. Then we created an object of the desired capability class, and we set the capability as proxy, and using that capability object, when we instantiate the browser object, it actually utilizes the proxy that we have set it up. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. Please go ahead and subscribe One Test Solution in YouTube for free videos and updates.